Welcome back. I'm here with Archbishop Desmond Tutu. Sir, may I ask you a little bit about your relationship with Mr. Mandela? Are you friendly? Do you keep in touch? Do you talk?
Yes and no. I mean, he's actually an incredible human being. I mean, all of us have come to accept this, but it is for real. You know, one day I go and have lunch with him, and I'm driving from Soweto to town where he lives. We finish the lunch, and he goes to the door, and he says, "Driver!" He's calling out for my driver, and I say, "Well, no, I don't have a driver. I chauffeured myself from Soweto." He doesn't say anything.
Right.
2 or 3 days later, he calls, "Mpilo, I'm sorry, I didn't ask you, but I didn't like the fact that you were driving yourself. And so I have asked 1 or 2 of my friends whether they can help you." And he genuinely can't stop himself when he sees what he believes is a need.
Right.
He wants to do something to meet it. And so now I have funds that enable me to have someone to drive me. But he's stubborn too.
Nelson Mandela's stubborn, there's news. 27 years in prison. No, I'm not moving a damn inch. Let me out. That's pretty stubborn.
But he's beautiful. You know, often people say 27 years. Oh, what a waste. Just look at what this guy would have done. No.
Right, of course.
No, because you see, when he went to jail, he was angry.
Mm-hmm.
An angry young person who was appalled by the miscarriage of justice that had happened.
Of course, understandably.
And it is, you know, suffering can make you bitter, but suffering can also, I mean, it burns away all of the chaff.
Yeah.
You know, and Nelson learned there to put himself in the shoes of the other, trying to understand how the Afrikaner must be feeling. His compassion, his magnanimity, his willingness to forgive those who had done him such an injustice, had done his people such an injustice. Incredible. And we were very, very blessed, because you can imagine if we had had someone who said, "We want to get our own back."
Yeah. You'd still be at it. You know, it'd be still going on.
If we were going to be alive still.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Our country has gone up in flames.
Sure.
And that's why we say there actually is no future without forgiveness. Just think, if you, I know you don't do this, but
What?
if you quarrel with your wife.
God bless you. Yeah.
You don't know.
No,
Yeah.
and I'm sure you don't quarrel with yours either. I know. I went too far. Yeah.
But you know what would happen to that relationship if one of you didn't say those words which are in any language the most difficult. "I'm sorry."
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Or, I mean, you sometimes you squeeze them out of you.
Yeah. That's how I get them out, yeah.
But if you don't, there's not much hope for that relationship. If you just build up the resentments, and one day, a very small thing, just look at the toothpaste tube. He's done it again. I mean, squeeze it in the middle.
Yeah, that's terrible business.
No,
Yeah.
I hear that is what happens. I mean, I know.
No, you would never do that. I
No,
understand.
no. I hear that that is what they do. I mean, you know, you throw your towels all over the place, you know, and think that there will be somebody who's going to pick them up.
Yeah, you're giving away a lot tonight, Father Tutu, you know.
No. I'm just telling you about what I have heard.
Oh, right, okay. Yes.
We would have been in real trouble in our country had it not been that we said it is important for people to be able to tell their story. Have you found out how powerful telling one story can be?
A little bit, yeah, I know a little bit about that, yeah.
Well, I mean, we had a young man. He was blinded by police action. He came to tell us his story. When he finished, one of the panel of the TRC said, "How do you feel now that you have told your story?" Unbelievably, a smile broke over his face. And he said, he's still blind. He said, "You have given me back my eyes." That telling the story as you did in the TRC, it was telling it to the whole world. It's reported very, very extensively. It was an incredible rehabilitation, a wonderful acknowledgement that what he had done had not just gone up in smoke.
It had happened, and people
And
knew about it.
yes, and that he was part of the reason why we now had a free South Africa.
Tell me if you can. We're almost out of time, but I'd love to hear how your feelings on the American.